2 weeks later, Lael, Edath, Nael, Miguel, Aruna, Sarah, Patroklos, and Urian were done rebuilding their house as well as cremating the corpses. Aletheia, just like Simon, had perished from the unknown drug. The remaining people who fought along Edath had been missing, but the fact they communicated with Sandra before her death would only mean they had died as well. Even if they would deal with fallen teammates in a usually better way than the average people, Edath had gone quieter, disappearing many times. Nael was training harder and harder, helping out the people who still remained in their group. With a hurt leader, Nael was trying to do everything he could, with Lael's help, who would constantly motivate them to not lose their focus and hope. Miguel was also a sign of hope and strength that motivated the rest to fight. Urian and Patroklos joined forces to try to keep up with Simon's work. They had been analyzing the camera memory on Simon's eyeglass in order to understand what he was working on and how he did most of his inventions. Sarah was working on improving her fighting and charismatic skills, while Aruna was still fighting a battle with herself, trying to win over her PTSD, with the help of the others. Nael had set a break so he and Urian would try to hunt something for dinner. Lael excused himself. He was going to take a bath, but his worry about Edath brought him to a part of the beach he knew where he'd most likely find her. As he reached the place, which was also the same place she ran off when Lael killed her brother, he noticed her sitting in the sand with her feet on the water, gazing at the sky. Her unkempt hair was waving wildly on her back, and her green eyes had no longer the same shine they used to have.
In the end, she's just like any other human with fragilities.
Even though it was wrong to admit, he liked to know that she actually wasn't the whole cold assassin and a despicable woman she pretended to be, and fought hard to convince she was.
Hey.
Lael sat next to her. She looked at him and made a tired smile.
How did you know you'd find me here?
You're a good judge of character.
Lael smiled too, looking at the waves that were now curling his feet. The water was cold, which made Lael shiver and Edath giggle by his reaction.
Yeah, I guess I was hoping you'd come here so I'd see you trying to be strong while freezing your gentle feet on the water.
Lael looked at her and embraced her in his arms.
Silly me, huh? But you don't need to pretend with me, you know? It is okay if you're also cold. You don't always need to be strong. It will only break you.
That's easy to say when you don't have everybody counting on you, expecting you to never break, thinking you're the source of their own future happiness and hope.
You can also count on us. Nael is doing what he can to help share the burden. You also said that if the leader falls, another one will appear. That's why you help prepare us in case that happens. So you don't need to feel so pressured because you are a human too.
Am I? It's shitty then. I always kind of felt like I was an object in another one's hand until Simon... until he appeared and tried to teach me I could be whatever I wanted. I didn't understand what that was, since I always felt alienated. But apparently, what I had to do was to learn from the others, since they could teach me so many different things. Then I should try to improve my abilities and skills in order to be a multifunctional human being with values and objectives. So in the end, I could also be able to pass on my knowledge, experience, and aims to other people seeking help. Learn, improve, educate, he used to say. What I didn't know is that by understanding this, and by understanding my feelings and so, that it will hurt so damn much. In the end, being a human is shit,
I can't blame you for thinking like that. I agree with you mostly. But being a human also brings you the possibility of feeling good things too.
What exactly?
It brought you happiness when we were all together, fighting for our aim.
Yeah, and that ended up goddamn well.
But that's life, you know? That's what being human is all about. And when you have so many negative feelings and experiences most of the time, it's easy to find joy in little things.
You know that. Is to be able to change this goddamn island.
Why? Why would it bring you happiness?
Because everybody will enjoy way more like that. And they'd actually live instead of just surviving. That will bring me happiness, you know? Living a normal life.
But you said yourself that you wouldn't live in my country because even though it's the kind of life you wanted to live, you wouldn't simply adjust to our ways. So, what would be different in this case?
I mean, it's still different. Alright, you got me. I know that's my aim. I just know it. Now, when you put it that way, it seems like my aim is stupid. Just because I'm fighting for something I don't know, I'll be able to retain happiness from. But I want to think I will. Otherwise, everything I've done so far, every life that got sacrificed will be in vain.
I get it. But have you thought that probably that sounds a little bit...
Selfish? Yeah, it does. Simon and Nell said it too. But mostly because I'd be dictating the rules if I'd be alive in case that ever came to happen. But in the end, many people here also share this dream. You can't fight for something like this alone. I'm not stupid. That's why you and the rest are here.
Well, I was basically kidnapped back then, so it's not like I had any choice anyway. Don't think that I'm saying these things because I don't agree with you. It's just that changing societies is something very difficult.
And that's why we get rid of the ones who are opposing to the change.
That's what politicians and the government does back in my place. That's why I'm here.
Thinking about what he said, she then kicked a bit of sand and snorted. Simon's words were popping out Edith's head again and again.
I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what's right anymore. I don't fucking know anything anymore.
She kicked off more sand and water. Lael hugged her from behind and kissed the top of her head, trying to calm her down.
It's all right. It's perfectly normal, Edith. You're like 22 or so. You shouldn't have to carry that entire burden. It's all right not to know everything, and it's all right if you're confused at the moment since one of the most important people you know is gone. But you'll find your own purpose. And I and Nael will be here for you.
I feel so fucking stupid. This is not how a real leader should be behaving. Thank you, Lael.
She looked at him and smiled. It was the first time Lael saw that genuine smile, and he was caught off guard. Since he first met her, almost 7 months now, he finally understood how she was.
Don't say that. I already told you, we're all human. It's okay if we break sometimes.
Well, I guess it's enough with this lame conversation. It almost looks like we're in a drama show or in a soap opera, and it's giving me the creeps.
That's the Edith I know. You're right. We've got more things to do than sulking and drowning in our own thoughts.
Let's go back then,
She said, and was beginning to walk, but halted, as she saw his clothes and towel to take a bath.
Or maybe I will join you.
This is definitely Edith.